I'm curious, broadly speaking, how the theory of disruptive innovation has impacted your businesses. Scott, would you start first?
Well, I have to make a little personal admission that after hearing those introductions, that being on stage next to Clay and Sal, I'm feeling a little bit like the warm-up act in a rock concert. the band you want to get off stage so you can hear the main event. Or maybe like those IQ tests. Which of the three items doesn't belong to the other two? When I read Clay's material, I guess, 12, 13 years ago, there was this odd resonance with, as I went back and looked at our own businesses, the businesses that for us were the big, successful ones, the ones that kind of surprised everyone and came out of nowhere, sometimes even surprising us, were in fact disruptions, every one of them. And our flops weren't. So there was this eerie pattern that in fact all we'd been doing, without knowing it, was unintentionally or maybe even accidentally or maybe even instinctively doing the very things that he described. So now we could have an explanation for what tended to work and what didn't work. And then with that explanation, that theory, as Clay says, then we could apply that, teach that, so we could more intentionally find the bigger wins. And the big gain for all this is our goal, our founding mission of the company is to change people's lives so dramatically, so profoundly, people can't imagine going back to the old way. That's what disruptions do, as opposed to incremental improvements. So the theory not only explained business success, it actually helps point us in the direction of how we change lives in companies, in society. So it's been a compass for us in a way that we could not have explained or figured out ourselves.
Thank you. Sal?
Yeah, you know, I can't claim that there was some grand plan that I had in 2004 when I started working with my cousins, or even in 2006. But you know, frankly, now when I look at some of Clay's work and the Institute's work, it's actually eerie how many of the patterns that we've seen in our own work and that have now helped inform where we're going. I mean, it's funny, even in those first days, you know, I was tutoring my cousins and I was looking for ways to help them, and my background was in computer science, and I think like a lot of programmers or computer scientists, you say, okay, software is the solution here. And I still think it could play a large role. And it was really an add-on that a friend suggested, actually, by the time we had moved out here. Said, hey, you know, to help yourself scale up with all your cousins, why don't you use this YouTube thing and record some videos? And I think like a lot of people in industry and academia, you're like, oh, that thing? And I literally told them, no, YouTube is for cats playing piano. It is not for serious mathematics. But it's one of those examples where it was just good enough. It was easy for me to produce. Even the first few videos, I didn't even have a video camera. I just used screen capture. I just used the same basic tools that I was using to tutor my cousins remotely. And it was the videos which were, and few people realize this, that were the supplement to the software piece. That's why some of the earliest Khan Academy videos, it says, welcome to level 3 linear equations. And you're like, what's level 3? There was some software thing I had written that was level 3 linear equations. And it's one of those examples, and you know, Clay's been writing about this for decades now, about it's that simple thing that just got good enough that now all of a sudden, if you just leverage that tool in the right way, that thing can take off and can kind of be almost the front guard of a whole new wave of things.